Hello and good afternoon. It's exactly 5 minutes past 12. This is Olayomi Koiki, Nigeria Diaspora. We're just arriving at the Women's Matter. We'll be bringing it back to you in the next 20 minutes. They're now on break. Sorry for coming late, but the moment the event starts back, we'll be live streaming as usual. We were at the Nursing Association last night. That's what actually kept us a little bit late this morning. We do apologize for that. But do remember to join us back in the next 20 minutes where we'll be bringing to you all the proceedings of what has been taking place. And also we will try to make sure we bring back the few hours that we've missed. But tell someone to tell someone. Nigeria Diaspora, one central hub connecting all the Nigerians, not just in UK, but also globally. What is happening now is they're on a tea break, people are refreshing, and we're coming back where we'll be bringing this event live to you as it's happening. I'm going to move you around to see what is actually happening. This is the room. As you can see, people have left their seat, but no one has gone away yet. I can assure you that they're all at the network where they're exchanging numbers and people are meeting each other. What are we here today all about is about the women, every women's matter. The most important thing is, we're right here, Holiday Inn, High Street, Kensington. I'm going to move the camera around to the foyer where we have all the delegates that are here representing. Again, as usual, my name is Olayomi Koiki, bringing it to you as it's happening, not just here in UK. As you can see, we've got people right here, that's the prof. The most important thing, like I said, we'll be back again within the next 20 minutes where we'll be bringing to you what is actually taking place. What is happening now is that people are actually, moving around, they're doing networking. But the event itself is already ongoing. Well, like you can see, we've got the co-host there, Mrs. Grace Alexander, Every Women's Matter. As you can see, beautiful faces down there. Nigeria Diaspora will be bringing it to you back as it's happening live in the next 20 minutes. They're all on break, refreshing. But do tell someone to tell someone that we're live here at Kensington, the Holiday Inn in Kensington, where it's all taking place. Again, as usual, my name is Olayomi Koiki. The most important thing is make sure you log in and tell someone so that you could be able to listen to what will be discussed within the next 4 hours. What is taking place now is people are now doing networking, but we'll be back to you within the next half an hour. We'll be able to bring to you exactly what is happening. As usual, my name is Olayomi Koiki, bringing it to you all the way from Holiday Inn, High Street, Kensington, where every women's matter.
That this is a very successful
Okay, I'm going to bring to you Saffron CEO. Will be able to tell us why we are here today. She'll also be able to explain to us, what is taking place right here today. I think we need a little bit of lighting, so maybe if we move to that side. Every Women's Matter, that is the reason why we are here today. Holiday Inn, right here at Kensington High Street. I've got the CEO of Saffron. In one word, why are we here today?
Nigeria has wonderful women. They're very intelligent, they're very industrious, but they do so many things that go against the girls, and ultimately the women. What we need to do is to bring women together. We're also skilled in so many different ways, and we need to highlight that. We need to show how when we come together, we are powerful and we can influence so many things from our culture, from what we wear, sewing, Nigeria, and she is the commissioner for workers and also, Saffron is there representing supporting women to move them from poverty. One of our objectives is poverty elimination for women, and that's what we get to do.
Okay, I know you were at the Nigerian High Commission just precisely about 4 weeks ago, safeguarding, the Nigerian community right here in UK and also in Nigeria. And I do also know that you might probably want to touch a little bit on the executive order that Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, he was going to be in London within the next 2 weeks, I believe, for the Nigerian Investment Forum. Could you just explain to us what Saffron is all about to the audience that are watching this?
Saffron for the past 2 years when we moved to Nigeria started to work towards safeguarding every Nigerian child. Within that, ultimately, because of what we were able to do and what we were able to was formed. Now, ultimately, we're able to influence the policy. So right now, our wonderful governor has set in place and has signed the safeguarding and protection policy. So now, what we're doing is that
and then move around to the other state. Okay, just before I let you go, the last question is, should women be participating in politics?
But at the moment, we're looking for ways to resources partners to support what we're doing and to then turn around to bring better outcomes to our children, bring better outcomes to our mothers, women, girl child, and also our youth.
Okay, just give us the name again because I can see already a lot of female have logged in. Thank you very much, Bimisola Ismi. Thank you very much, Latisha Oluwafumilayo, and others that I can't see but are watching. Just tell the audience your name again, and then I'll let you go because I know you're very busy today and will continue to be here for the next 4 hours. What's the name again?
My name is Omayemi. I'm the CEO of Saffron Development Foundation. But everyone just wants to get me a
That's it. Thank you very much, and hope to catch up with you again. Well, it's still a very, very busy day. It's Women's Matter. We're right here at Holiday Inn High Street, Kensington. We'll be transmitting this to you live as it's happening. Remember, Nigeria Diaspora, one central hub connecting the Nigerians, not just here in UK, but globally as well. I might be able to bring somebody else as well that might be able to speak to us. Would you like to speak to my audience on Facebook while we are here today? We want to go on my Facebook and tell the audience why we are here celebrating, what are we celebrating, and what does it really mean, Women's Matter? Is it just for UK? Or are we talking globally? I've got audience that are already logged in. Okay? Well, you tell my audience. I don't want to say it by my own mouth. You are down here at the moment. You just tell us, yes, that's the holy way. I'll let you go first. You tell us. If you move a little bit so that we can get a little bit of lighting. I don't want it to look so dark so that I can see you in your beautiful attire that you've come in. Come on. Leave the biscuit alone. Leave the biscuit alone. Okay. I'll let you go now because I know we have to go back in now.
I believe coming here today is to connect with all women around the world, global, because when it comes to women with disabilities, autistic children, need to be heard.
Thank you very much.
Again, this is today about being a platform for disabled women and girls and mothers, as I say, of disabled children and people. Today, we're really focusing in terms of what we could do in Africa. We're looking forward to coming to Asia. Yeah, it's a global discussion.
Well, thank you very much. You've heard it all from all the women, Nigeria diaspora, bringing it to you. We will continue to be live streaming this as it's happening. We're all heading back into the main hall now, where we're going to be listening to some of the beautiful speakers that have traveled far, far away from Nigeria to be down here today. As you can see.
All right. Auntie Grace, stay with the picture.
No more for supply. Let's all go back inside.
You still got more time to come back later.
Oh,
You're already live now. Yeah.
Okay. Very great.
Got it.
So when I say every woman matters, I say so do I. So at least I will point to the men. Is that okay? So every woman matters, so do I. Every woman matters, so do I. Thank you very much for coming back. So do I. Thank you very much for coming back. It's been a very exciting morning for me. It's listening to all of the very powerful speakers that we've had. Jumoke Abdullahi spoke earlier about issues around disability. And the fact that it's very important for us to realize that when we're consulting people who are disabled, we should also include them in decision making, which I think is very, very important. We had Jo who spoke. She's the head of equality, the gender equality at the Department for International Development. She spoke eloquently about all the various things that her department has done, both here and also internationally. We've had Ms. Priscilla Muyunda speak. She gave us a speech. Honorable Ola Conde, the Commissioner for Lagos State Leadership, Lagos State Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, spoke, gave a very deep speech, I would say, because she made us realize that in whatever sphere, in whatever area we find ourselves, we all matter. And it's not just about us match. It's not just about the fact that we matter. It's about the fact that we need to push our agenda. We need to push it in a unified way. Not pull anyone down, not pull each other down, but realizing that we have a goal, we have a target, and we need to work together towards it. We also had the Baroness Bema spoke recently about the work she did when she was at DP, about the fact that there's a need for us to speak up, to come together to speak up. And we had this scholar, Shoba Mimu. She spoke about the work, an organization called Breakfast Island that they do. And of course, we're going to be moving very, very swiftly now. You know what I said earlier about the need to have And I've been waiting. Is it cold here? No. Is it cold? No. I think it's cold. Want me to talk now? One thing with African music is that there's no way you hear African music at 60. African music has got rhythm. And I've been looking forward to this section. And I'm going to call out, is he ready now? I am the first. Are you ready? I am the first. Here we go.
yourself a big round of applause, everybody. And you know why? Because you... I'm not happy people because I'm a happy place. All right, let's check this out.
That's right, the talking drum.
And this is talking drum.
Yeah.
However, I'm not a racist. Yes? So there are some people who are not from Yoruba land. They are not even from Nigeria, but they are our wonderful friends. And I want everybody to please enjoy yourself. It's not all about us coming here just making noise. No, but that interaction. Now let's check this out. My drum have just said, welcome, you are wonderful. So can you please repeat after my drum?
Welcome. wonderful.
You are wonderful. My drum is very inquisitive. He's going to ask a question now.
Okay.
Let my drum speak to our man. How are you? Thank you. Now he's going to ask everybody the same question, but we are going to answer the question. Not straight away. I will tell you what to do. Thank you. Now we are going to answer by saying, when I say one time, hey,
I feel all right.
hey, hey, I feel. When I say two more times, hey, hey, wonderful. All right, let's just get into it. One time. Hey, encouraging us to be part of the performance. That is just to stand up and just
shake the body.
Just enjoy the show.
Okay.
about our wonderful women. Thank you so much. Our wonderful women. I would say our wonderful mothers. Okay. So now we are going to all stand up. We're going to stand up and just enjoy ourselves. Please. Because maybe some of you have never met me before. Maybe you might never see me again. Now that I'm going to die, or you might not have these meeting points, let's just make use of it, of the opportunity today. Can everybody please just stand up?
Okay.
You can have some people in front here and just dance. Those of us who know the song is about women. Okay? very special here. Everybody, all of us, we are very special. But for my Oga, the MC, everybody, she's such a wonderful, beautiful sister. I don't want to get her upset. So we have only 2 minutes, but before we go, I'd like to use my talking drum to just call some names. I have a wonderful friend here that we met only this morning, and they have been very, very good to each other. Her name is Amanda. So, any more names? Challenge me. I'd like to Alima. Alima. What's your name? Mary Troy. Unfortunately, we just have to bring the show to an end. But having said that, never mind. My cultural heritage showcase is coming up, and I would like everybody to be part of it. God bless you. Okay? So before we go, can everybody say Ashe? Ashe. That's going to execute us. When I say sorry? It will surely come to pass. Ashe. Okay? So it's a prayer. Yeah? When I say Ashe.
Okay, thank you for bearing with us. We just felt that was necessary just to clear all along. Thank you. Without music, it's one of the things that has kept us as African women through. It kept us holding our heads high. When the very low moments come, music helps us up. Oh yeah. And on that note, I'm going to bring on can we have one meeting, please? Thank you. One meeting, please. Every woman matters. So do I. I give you 100%. I give 110%. Every woman matters. So do I. I'm going to call on Councillor Marisa Reese, who's been very patient. Marisa Reese Rossi, who has been extremely patient with us. Extremely patient, especially with the music and the noise. Thank you so much for bearing along with us. Africans love noise, we love music, and that's one of the things that kept us against all of the odds that a lot of us have faced. She's the mayor of the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Give her a round of applause.
Thank you so much, everyone, for inviting me to this really important conference, Every Woman Matters. I'd like to thank Grace and Amanda and Bimbo for inviting me. And also I'd like to thank the lovely drums and dancing that we have just experienced, which I'm sure embodies the spirit of the conference. I'd just like to say I myself come from a family with 4 girls. I have a brother who was the youngest, and I had a very intelligent mother and 2 very strong grandmothers. So I've always had in my life the feeling that women were important and that women mattered. And I was fortunate enough to go to school where we were taught that we were just as good as all the men and that we could do just as well. And I think that education is very important for girls in order for them to empower themselves. Right now I'm the mayor of the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, and I would like to welcome you all to this borough for your conference. I know some of you come from foreign parts, and we have had several female mayors in the Royal Borough. So in terms of gender equality, we are doing quite well. We also have many officers in high positions on the council, and in the cabinet of the council we have 5 women. So even though we don't have yet an equal number of women to male councillors, there are quite a few of us, and the women are doing quite well. So I would like to wish you well in your conference. I'm sorry that I can't stay for much longer. I have to leave to go somewhere else. But thank you all so much for inviting me. This is a very important cause, and I'm sure in the months and years to come we will all try and achieve gender equality. So thank you very much.
Mayor of Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Can we all give her a round of applause? Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to quickly call on Every Woman Matters. So do I. Thank you. I give you a 110%. Okay, I'm going to call on Professor Ariola Goke, who will be speaking to us on the economic empowerment for all women to key change to achieve the sustainable development goals. Professor Ariola Goke. Can we give him a round of applause?
Every woman matters.
So do I.
Before we can really get it right, this is a concern of every person, whether you are having masculine gender or female gender, because we all pass through a woman. But for Africa, the major major problem we are having, using Nigeria as a reference point, is that of how to have credible leadership, as well as having good governance. The United Nations is really trying, but unfortunately, most African leaders do deceive them. You know, there are a lot of grants from the international community to ensure that Africa comes out of the blue. Now, when the Millennium Development Goal was rolled out, Africa was the focus. But unfortunately, almost every nation in Africa, we bastardized the program. We bastardized it. Because at the time, when monitoring mechanism was put on board, Nigeria was found once because there was nothing on board. If every nation from Africa had also accepted that MDG, we would have had a very good foundation, solid foundation for economic growth. Now that we are in SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, 17 point agenda, there are some areas that are of very great interest, which if implemented with sincerity, will have taken care of what we are trying to advocate for now. For example, that area of promotion of inclusive society. That's goal number 5, goal number 10, goal number 8, and goal number 16. What I now want us to have in mind is that positive mindset regarding why we should not just leave everything to government. Because SDG is about humanity, improving the quality of life. So that when Africans, when we come around to develop countries, we don't just look as if we are in another space. What I have here, because I won't be able to finish everything, I have to summarize everything. A key to achieving sustainable development goals, every woman matters if we really focus on it. We were looking for a definition of women. The other time, what I have here briefly, man is the network of authority and management for effective discharge of ordained and assigned responsibility, while a woman is acknowledged as nicest gift of God, adorable sister, marvelous daughter, outstanding wife, and wonderful mother, based on the profile of her growth and development. At every stage of girl child development, she must be rightly empowered in an environment of love into womanhood. Educated, disciplined, focused to be value-laden woman-wise parents. The man must be equally empowered for full service delivery to the home and the society. The goal in marriage forms a home upon which the fabric of the nation stands, deciding progress, standard, and developmental values. I want to correct one impression about religion. Religion has never impoverished or marginalized women. The major problem we are having is that of the so-called religious leaders. Most of us are bereft of the right interpretation of what the scripture is saying. That's why humanity is not a problem. For example, when you look through the whole of the Holy Quran, there is no chapter for man. But the woman has a chapter there. That is self-desire. So which means the concern of God regarding gender equality is very, very high. When you look at Quran 33 verse 35, there are 10 passive principles and responsibilities being given man and woman without discrimination. You will find everything there. So gender equality is supported wholesomely by religion, but the managers, the so-called religious leaders, maybe mainly because of human beings are conservative. You hardly want to change from one habit to a better one, and that is why we must identify with the struggles of women to get really rightly liberated, getting their freedom as expected. Because in the real life we know that women and people living with disabilities and one thing that amazes me, when you have NGO, they depend most of them depend so much on funding agencies. But in every nation, we will have a lot of people that have more than all these agencies. For example, Mo Ibrahim, that's Sudanese Melopitonia, he was so concerned about Africa, and he now has good governance in Africa. And he states that any nation that really gets it will be given that is $5 million, and subsequently such a lucky president will be given $200,000. Just so that only 3 nations, 2007, 2008, 2009. After that, no other nation was able to meet up. Unfortunately now, I'm born as a woman. I had an experience with the life then with my mom and my dad, and some areas which I detested as a child. And that was what informed me to write about girl child and woman. Just to share that experience and to ensure that we are able. So we need to identify, because when you see a bird fly with two hands, so 2 wings. The first wing is man, the second one is woman. So there is no way you must not identify, otherwise economic imbalance will result, social imbalance will result, and that is what we are now experiencing. I've seen a lot of homes after the ceremonial, something about marriage and all those things got broken. Why? It's because we fail to really study and understand the concept of God about marriage. That area of courtship is very important. It must not be something you will talk with, but understanding one another. Well, you can really learn from the weaver bird. The weaver bird, from the onset, will have a mate, and there won't be anything except understanding. In fact, the female characteristically will continue to understudy the male, and at the point of toward the marriage point, the male will be challenged. Build a house for me. I want to see what you have done. And after the female look at the art or science of the house, if she's not interested, she will fly away. But if she's interested, she will go in and the husband will follow. You are supposed to have a say right from the home. So, and these are the things we are not really looking at. Because we have to understand if it works among lesser animals. What is our problem as human beings with this high level of mental faculty? So marriage and life prospect, that is an experience here. So the areas of disability, I've discovered that even in Nigeria, there is, for every budget, annual budget passed, there is no area where people living with disability is represented or taken care of. That's number one. Number two is that even education that is supposed to be a unified factor for all of us to be able to develop ourselves. The United Nations is talking of minimum of 20% of the annual budget. But what are we having? The greatest we have in Nigeria was just in 2013 when we were having about 11%. For this year, it is 6.1%. So when you are managing your education through 6.2% of the annual, which means education is already relegated. So if the education of the younger ones is being toyed with, what are you going to have in future? You are going to have a crop of people that we have baked to manage the affairs when people like us that have retired. I was not finished. That's crazy. So the areas of the youth in Nigeria now, unemployment is very, very at its lowest level. So empowerment issues, most especially for the youth, because the youth, they are in a stage whereby they have enormous energy. But if they are not gainfully empowered, gainfully engaged, they become serious security risk. So that is the area. So finally now, I've studied the 17 points agenda of the SDG. They are women and people that are really disability friendly. So if every government is able to buy into SDG, there is no way every nation will not be able to take care of. Finally, the way out. Only women will have the right feelings and passions or views on women's human rights to remove stigmatization, abuse, oppression, and other challenges of development facing women for ease of passing them into law. Even when some men do resist, measures will be taken to ensure equal women's access to and full participation in power, structure, and decision-making. The way out, you will see in that paper, a enabling environment will be created, and that's why governance and government is very, very important. Womanhood life support must be looked into. Factors of entrepreneurship, policy trust needs, implements SDG and CDO. CDO, when we are trying to pass that thing through our legislative arm, what we experienced was very, very bad. They were asking for bribe before they could pass anything. So these are the areas where we really need to look into. Internal party democracy. A kingdom divided against itself can never perform anything. And that is what is wrong with African political parties. So when they are not settled internally, how will they now govern well when they get there? So the challenge now of accessibility regarding the role of stakeholders must be looked into. You will see it here. I have almost 8 stakeholders which we must focus. It's because of the time I'm doing hydrogen dumping in chemistry. Collaboration for realization, stakeholders interaction, network of inclusive society. You see the NGO, advocacy and pilot projects, government policy and the CBN monetary something, then the international community, then funding agencies. The area where we need to really talk to the international communities is that they must focus more on the NGO and monitor them well. Yes. Anything you throw to government goes to where it wants to go. Exactly. So that is that's that. NGO on the inclusive for women. Not all women empowerment programs and projects take care of people from the rural areas and PLWDS. Engage, empower, and enable women in decision-making, breaking through all barriers of religion and culture on their rights and access to education, country, civic matters. In the words of Barack Obama of the USA 2016, let us respect motherhood right from the home front. A husband is tested when he has everything. A wife is tested when her husband has nothing. That is the submission, and it's true. Motherhood is a divine construct that must be protected and respected by all to have justice, equity, peace, and sustainable development. Women empowerment is a necessity, and we must fight everything together. Child Rights Act implementation on the protection of children and people living with disabilities is equally sacrosanct to relieve the burden the patriarchal world ignorantly plays on women. Let us therefore join hands in promoting people's rights through good governance which advocates for the realization and actualization of issues affecting women, because every woman matters.
not register, it will be not right. You know, people have a habit of when they come in because they don't want people to send emails to them, they don't want to bother them, they just scroll through. And you sometimes look at the registration sheets. Yes. People just scroll through the emails. But unfortunately, sometimes you need some key things. So if for adventure you would like to have a copy of this, please go back and write your email properly in case you want to do your But then we've got this book, so just more than what Professor Lakoya said earlier, Girl, Child and Woman Issues of Development is out there for sale for £5. We've got the empowerment issues, the youth and the vulnerable, which includes people living with disabilities for £5. And then you have marriage and life prospects. For me, I've never ever thought of the story of the people like that before. I know how they do it, but I never really studied it in that depth. So I suppose when you buy this book, you'll have more depth, more information about what courtship and what the original concept of what marriage should be. Maybe if some of us, or some people had read it, probably, you'd have gotten it right and made sure that the male member board builds the type of house he wants before you move in. I don't think, let me help him build the nest. Let me help him build the nest. And eventually for that, anyway, don't let's go to that area. Exactly. Disability in age of life, £5. And of course, global crisis recipe for peace, religious perspective. The books are all out there, £5. One of the things that people erroneously say, and I say that with a bit of whatever, with a pinch of salt, is that black people don't read. If you want to keep anything away from a black man, write it in the book. But I believe that our generation is changing. Yeah. We need to start reading and we need to start writing. A lot of us have so much information on the inside of us and we keep it in there. There are books waiting to be written by so many women who are here today. Get writing, because there's a need for you to make sure that that information you have is disseminated, not just to you, not just to your generation. One of the ways in which you pass information across is through books, because it goes down trans-generation, down, down, down. And on that note, I'm going to call on, am I boring you? No. I think everybody. Every woman matters. So do I. Every woman matters. So do I. Okay, I'm going to call on Pami Dessa. She's the founder and CEO of Include Me Too. Can we give her a round of applause? She comes and talks to us in 5 minutes.
Wonderful Nigerian sister, Grace Alexander. I feel grateful because 72 hours ago, my youngest son, who's got very complex needs, actually was having seizures, dropping temperature, and lots of prayers and good wishes. And over the last 24 hours, it got better. This morning, I had 1.5 hours sleep. I had to catch that train, come across to London, and make sure that I supported our sister. I also feel grateful that I met the blesser today. I see lots and lots of photographs of him, and so both me and Grace, I feel grateful because I've got another mother that I've met amongst many others, but I'm really excited about the way that mine and Grace's journey is going to merge now, and how together all of us can really start making some change. So let me give you some content. I'm going to quickly talk about the tools we need to make the change, the tools that are already available, the forms of abuse. We need to be talking about it consistently and raising awareness. The solutions, because one thing that Grace gave me a mandate on was partly we talk about solutions. So yes, we've got a few challenges, and most importantly, the voice. The voice is so important of disabled young people, disabled youth. For us to actually strengthen that voice, support them, to give them the platform to actually say how they want their future, how they want to build a disability-free society. I've got 4 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to be quick now. Right. So last year, October, on the 2nd of October 2016, I went to the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, where we reviewed the Convention on Rights of Disabled Persons. What dawned on me was the fact that even here in the UK, we've got many of our countries that come from the Commonwealth, but we are still having facing the barriers and challenges of abuse and persons. We've got Article 6 talks about women with disabilities. Article 16, freedom from exploitation and violence. But yet, still, so many disabled people don't know their rights. General society don't know the rights of disabled people. We need to raise the bar and we need to start talking about it. Because disabled people doesn't matter. Every woman does matter. Sustainable development goals, we talked about achieving gender equality and empowering of women in terms of women and girls with disabilities. But also there's several other goals that Professor kindly also noticed too. The goals include inclusive society, economic development, opportunities of education, and it's really about how do we actually make that really happen on the ground. We've got 1 billion people worldwide, 50% of the population is disabled, more than half of that is women. 200 million disabled women still living in poverty today. The countries that have actually reached out to us as NGOs include Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, Rwanda, all saying we'd like to model how you empower disabled young people, because they are the ones that need to be empowering. And also, more importantly, we need to start talking in our communities about abuse. So now we're talking about in terms of tools we've got the United Convention on Rights of Disabled Persons, we've got the Sustainable Development Goals that everybody's on a race to make sure that we can meet. We've got the United Convention on Rights of the Child, which we enhance, particularly for disabled children, and make sure they all get a copy of that. We have got the tools. Also within our own country, we've got policy and legislation. What's happening is policy's just on paper, and at the end of the day, people have signed it, but nobody's actually implemented it. The frustration is not being implemented. So once again, when Grace and many others have been in touch and said, how do we make this happen, Palmy? The point is we have to hold people to account, because it is about making that actually happen. Forms of abuse I wanted to highlight as well is the fact that we talked about them, but let's revisit that again in terms of what it means for the African continent, and what also being a woman is also the Asian continent as well. We've got a lot in common. So very quickly, in terms of emotional, physical, financial, sexual, psychological and domestic, forced sterilisation, abortion, contraception, early child marriage, forced marriages, FGM, breast ironing, witchcraft accusation, neglect, maltreatment, exploitation, trafficking, and children actually being told to marry the person who's raped them. And that makes it right somehow. Menstruation, when a girl enters having a period, she's actually been accused of having sex earlier and beaten and married off. So these are harmful cultural traditional practices that we need to not only start working with our communities from Africa, in the UK, but also back home as well. These are cultures that have been embedded for centuries, negative attitudes, cultural norms within our community. We need to start challenging them, have a real dialogue, create a safe space, and start re-educating. So what is needed in terms of the solutions? Laws protection, policies to stop violations and abuse. Perpetrators being prosecuted, even here in the UK, perpetrators get away with it. And so do they, so much so, in our own countries and in Africa. Education is needed. Women and girls need to be educated about safeguarding, understanding about relationships, marriages, sex education, and also understand that abuse is abuse, and to have a voice, because they are at work, they have rights, and we should be supporting them, each and every one of them, because every woman does matter, and every woman's integrity and dignity does matter. Education, and so we've got the every part of it. Every part is about education, employment, empowerment, enable. We need to look at early intervention practices. We need to look at child protection and vulnerable adult protection. And more importantly, educate the broader society. Get more role models, more of a platform in terms of having disability portrayed much more positively. Must change laws, must educate the youth, must provide accessible help and services. Love to discuss this more with you, and thank you for the stage today.
Solutions is not just about talking about the problems. I think like Professor Lagoki said earlier, we know what the issues are. It's about how do we move forward. And part of that is what we'll be doing when we have the panel sessions later. But before we do that, I have Bukayo, please pardon me if I don't pronounce your name well. Bukayo Feyo is the founder of Bukayo Trust Organization. Give her a warm welcome.
I'm honored to be invited to speak and thereby be associated affiliated with an organization which raises awareness of the challenges faced by women and girls who are disadvantaged and grossly underrepresented in the development of our great nation of Africa, particularly those living with disabilities. The question is, how can we prevent their being marginalized with their social and economic development thereby being hindered? Leaving no women behind must be our slogan as we promote collaboration and inclusivity in line with the goals of the United Nations 2013 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals, which advocates that every woman and girl be change agents with negotiable roles to play in a totally inclusive role. This must be considered an integral part of the African Union's Agenda 2063, which is a 50-year strategic framework for the socio-economic transformation of our great nation. Now, how can we make a change? We can raise awareness and motivate people to get involved in motivating the very people who are affected, for it is within their power to get themselves out of their current situation by not accepting it as a permanent status quo and taking whatever action is necessary to make a change.
Townships in rural areas on the east coast about 20 years ago, and the internet and things like that we were ahead of our time, in fact, because it was a little bit too advanced. So we're going back there this time, and my company makes, with Brunel University, makes renewable energy systems, and we design and implement microgrids in small villages, 300, 500 people. The purpose is to bring electricity. We know from experience that it's not always a good thing, because the fire at night is an African social get-together, whereas flipping on an electric light kills that social atmosphere. So we understand that there are some different things we need to do. I want to tell you a short story which illustrates to me then, 20 years ago, and even more so today, how important education is for African women. I was at a show in Kenya, and we had an engineer and I had a PowerPoint presentation. It was fairly simple, but in those days, maybe a little bit sophisticated. And I had an engineer to run a computer program for me, so when people came along, they could see this animated exhibition of what we were doing, and it gave you a tour of Washington State University, and it was quite smart. And so we had a woman there who was part of our the FENCOM group, and it was obvious that she had a very hard life, and she had goats that she herded, and she was out in the bush. She travelled a long way to get there, and but she was one of those beautiful human beings that were untouched by the hard life that she had. So one thing led to another, and she was watching how this presentation worked. And the second day she said, could I have a go at that? So I said, yeah, sure. So within another day, she was operating this slideshow, and she was able to talk people through it, and within 3 days, she was as good as the engineer running it. And so on our farewell dinner, I sat beside her and I said, so what sort of education do you have? And she said, well, I don't really have an education, but I can read a little and I can count. And I said, that's really amazing that you were able to understand quite a sophisticated computer and how to work without an education. And she said, well, unlike you business people who have a busy mind, I don't have. I've got a lot of time to think when I'm with my goats. But what it demonstrated to me, and it was graphic, was that here was this uneducated woman with this thirst for knowledge, and it was just a coincidence that she was able to leapfrog all of the learning in between. So what I'm trying to set up at the moment is my association with Brunel University and Henley College, Sixth Form College. We have a desperate shortage of engineers in this country. So in Africa, you can that's maybe 100 times worse, because without engineers you can't build things, you can't fix things. You need engineers. At Brunel University, the Vice Chancellor keeps saying to me, we don't have enough women engineers. We need women. So I'm here to collaborate. Talk to me later on. I'm being shut down here. Thank you once again. It's been a pleasure being here.
It's just that we have such great, wonderful, excellent lineup of speakers, and I think it's just necessary for us to get the best out of everyone. Okay, I'm going to be calling on Miss Shola Moss Shopamino. Am I going to say my name to Shopamino? She's the founder of Women in Leadership Magazine. Can we give her a round of applause for 4 minutes, or maybe 3 minutes, or maybe 2? And that's a tall order for a lawyer, actually. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm absolutely honored to be here. So let me start with the first thing I want to say. People, it is time for a conscious revolution. Okay? It is time. I mean, the theme, from what everyone has said so far that I've heard, is it's time for us to take responsibility and consciously make the change we want to see. Right? Yeah. Don't wait for the government. Don't wait for your sister sitting next to you. Don't wait, I don't know, for your counselor. Don't wait for your husband. You be the change you want to see. Now, today we're talking about every woman matters. We're talking about women who have experienced disability. Can I just put something out there? I just say that even if you're physically able, would you agree with me that we all experience some form of disability?
Yeah.
Something that is blocking us, some obstacle, perception, whether it's mental illness. It could be something that just holds us back because of what we've been told about ourselves, or even about what we believe about ourselves. I think each of this needs to be tackled. It doesn't make somebody else's disability more important or less important, but it is really critical for us to understand how empowering it is to share our stories. So through the Women in Leadership publication, I touch upon human interest stories. I talk about topical issues. I talk about things that nobody wants to talk about, right? Can you tell that I'm the confrontational type? I have no issue, right? We say what needs to be said. But that does not mean in any way, form, or manner that I am all there. Because there's some mornings I wake up that even my kids go, oh God, are we getting the grumpy mommy or the smiley mommy, right? I'm sure you all okay. Listen, I want to really push up this message that as women, we should take the chance to redefine ourselves. It is okay that you're not the 20-year-old person you used to be, or 30-year-old person you were. This is what evolution is about. It's about you taking that kind of responsibility. How many of you here as entrepreneurs have actually made a conscious decision to employ somebody who's physically disabled? How many of you as managers have taken that kind of decision to be more inclusive with a team that you manage? Conscious revolution. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I appreciate that there are parameters that you probably need to build into to get to support whether it's somebody who is experiencing disability or something else.
Now, about a quarter of this goes into investment opportunities, but of course a lot of these are very unstructured, and it's really about how do we structure these, how do we provide more diversified investment instruments. And then a large chunk of that also goes to the social and welfare, so education, health, and so on. The African Union has described the African diaspora as a social welfare state of the continent, because that really does prop it up. So a lot of the questions that we ask ourselves is, how do we make these informal remittances go further? How do we ensure that all the support that the diaspora are providing can make a maximum social impact? How do we promote inclusive growth for all poor people, including the disabled, including women? About 5 years ago, part of our strategy was also to become a grant maker, because we thought that in terms of interventions that we were making, how do we scale this up? Diaspora work is it still remains very informal. You've only got a few organizations that are formally structured and can make the interventions that they make, but it really is about how do we scale this up. And so we became a grant maker around about 2012, 2013, and specifically looking at the diaspora's intervention in job creation. We encourage projects that are focused on young people, on women and girls, as well as innovation and solution focus. I'll give you just a quick example of an organization that we recently funded on a very small grant in Uganda, which is called the Neuro-Guitar Development Association. So they wanted a small grant to support disabled women in Tara in Uganda. They focused on tailoring and hairdressing. But the idea, because again, we really must talk about how we make these sustainable. It's for us and from our experience, we know that providing people with training is great, but how far does that actually go? So it really is about the next step. So essentially what they wanted to do was to provide them with training, but in addition, they also wanted to provide them with skills in bookkeeping, because what they wanted to do was that once the training was over, they would provide them with some training in bookkeeping. They would try to set them up so that they could then become self-employed and begin to begin to work. So they provided 50 women with tailoring with training in tailoring and hairdressing, but also importantly, and again I guess it goes back to the solutions focus. What they also did was to collaborate with local communities as well, with the councillor. So it wasn't just about this organization going in and trying to do some work there, they were actually collaborating with other people in the community as well. In terms of the outcome, all the women who were trained were also set up to start their own businesses. But the very interesting thing about it is that a few of them thought that it would be quite good for them to provide onward training to other women who were also disabled in the community. And so essentially what they've done, from what we understand in terms of the outcome, all these women are now self-employed, and a few of them are actually providing onward training as well. So they were able to gain the skills, and they are now able to even quantify how much they are actually earning. And what they went on to do as well was to form a small group as well of a disabled women's group, so that they could have a sort of hub to be able to support other disabled women. So in terms of our work and in terms of how we scale up, we recently started, we sort of scaled up a little bit more in terms of the grants program. And it looks specifically at the challenges that diaspora development support in the UK as well as on the ground through our partners. They continue to receive mentoring and coaching through the process because that is also very important. And we also are developing quite a lot of material as well around how you do business in Africa. But for us, as I said, the main impact that we want to make is around job creation, and it's also very important that it is inclusive, which is something that we've been talking a lot about today. I mean, in terms of just bringing it back to the issue of disabilities, as we mentioned before, it is a real challenge, and we know that it is, in most of our cultures, it is invisible. It's not even spoken about. And I guess we do want to look at how we collaborate and how we develop the partnerships, how we develop holistic approaches that ensures that as we promote economic development, disability is not left off the agenda. I don't have the answer to that, but I suppose that if we collaborate and create more relevant partnerships, we'll start to make relevant interventions that impact on the lives of women and those living with disabilities.
Presentation talking about the number of organizations they're working with and how they intend to move forward by collaborating with organizations on ground. And I can actually attest to the fact that I know that Start Children Development Initiative in Nigeria, they actually have a lot of, they actually started incorporating a cooperative association or organization in Nigeria where they're working with people who are disabled, and they actually manufacture gari, cassava. They have been trained, they went to IITA last year. Start Children are doing a fantastic job. So it's not just about talking, it's not just about dancing, it's about the fact that when we do have our panel session later, let's talk about active things that can take place on ground to support people who are living with disability, whether seen disability or unseen disability. And unfortunately, sometimes a lot of those who have unseen disabilities are left aside. I'm going to call on Precious Ugu, the founder of Stand Up and Standing Foundation. Can we give her a round of applause at this time? We can continue to, you know, when you clap, it's actually like exercise. Just be no weak, I don't want you to get to clap them a little bit. Okay, Precious. Now say amen. We started and we heard everybody spoke about issues, and I had two big persons spoke about solutions. And I think this times in life, everyone in life is disability is the solution. And like Pandora said, we go to you where we'll be higher. And you what you only do a little bit from us. We have to in that change. Our nice young lady said. And now we need to go on ground to deal with the issues on ground. You can't stay in London on your high platform and you're making the change there. So I have my mentor, my mom, she's right there, she's from Sokolilo. I know the stages in life where you don't know where you're going forward or backwards. And your vision is there, but it's not written properly because you don't understand what is before you. And then you just want to put this person in your life and decide, do it this way and do it that way. And sometimes you go in 3, 4 in the morning and you don't see the phone. So I have a singing. Mine is a bit different from what everybody's doing. Yes, I'm a child of war. We've been through the days and all of that well. And that's where the issue is today because we grew past it because our vision is very important. So I have senior, I have 2 children with ability. That's that I became a woman that might, I'm sure that's what's standing here today. And I talked about myself, the pain, the anguish, and the depression that I was feeling. And the few people that were in my life were directly under that pain and challenges through the marriage and the family issues, and then form something important with the support of people behind me. So what we do, we establish, we have a gene called Stand Up, Stand Out. People find it impossible to stay. And persons with abilities are killed. You may see them if you don't think they have disabilities, but if I didn't have 2 children, I would not understand the weight it carries. And plus, I live in London, and I go through hell every day. As a child of God, so it's a challenge every day.
take it upon myself and I go to schools and I establish things for persons. I have children with autism, and to be able to establish the children in the school properly. Now we're in Liberia, and what we've done is we're trying to establish a school, not a school per se, because we want it to be in a mainstream school. We don't want to segregate it like in Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and Kenya. So we've come together like a collaboration is very important. Because one person cannot do this job. We are here, we are saying what matter. What matters is coming together. So all these different programs, we are the same thing. There's no establishment, there's nothing coming out of it. So what we've done is establish a school where it will be a tutorial session where people who go to normal stream school come into the tutorial and then they be taught there. Because as it is, they're usually in pain. My son is like proper Salah blind. He will not drive the rest of his life. My daughter is passionately pain. So I have two of them. So imagine a mother that can go into work. And Angel sits in the class where they have a soft tooth who doesn't understand. Her vision is not like you and me that wear glasses, you're normal. Yeah. Because she sees things there and you keep it in front of the projector for 2 or maybe 20 minutes. That's the longest journey in stay in life, but she cannot do that. So I have a phone call, kind of pick up your daughter. So I'm working, but I'm not working. So I'm always in the door. So you see, we stand and we make these changes, and they're killed in Africa for riches. Their body parts are used for money. Men that have AIDS sleep with them because they think they're going to be killed. So what we're fighting now, we had our first ever Princess of Happiness in Symphonium in Westminster University this month, and great people came, and the people in the U and everybody came, we spoke about it. It's something that is not going to be today ending. But what we're looking at, all of us here, is the generation, like the professor said. When the fire comes, and nothing is burning, what is left is what matters. And I just want you to speak to me for maybe a few seconds. He's the end of what he goes through as a person with albinism, and he has a name. And albinism is the right word, not albinos. Because we have animals that have albino. We call them albino, and we call them persons with albinism. And they're yet to find the right word to call them. But we're all the same.
To be honest with you, people with ability, I've been saying to people, even the organizations and everybody that establish this, they don't know what the people with ability, they don't know the experience. You can tell, and it's different in different abilities we've got, or should I say people with ability. And what we go through, I don't know how to express it. Really, the segmentation or the segregation and all the rest we got, the differences people show towards us. I remember, I'll take an example from me, myself, back in Nigeria, when all my teachers, they never understand what's going on with me. And then the peers, my peers, they don't really know what's going on with me. And then the problem is you grow up in Nigeria and you blend with what people say and calling up names and all the rest. But they don't know within, when we were young, they don't know within you what we were, what it was like to be called that name. But you grow up with those names and all the rest and all these what they do, and then you find yourself. But to be honest, we are different, as I say. Mentally, we are different. I grew up very well with age, but I've got to know that I met someone that I've got to know that we are the same in the university. He could never take that. Every step we move together, and as we come together one day, and then we find this kid calling names, and then before we know it, I said, leave them alone. He was trying to slap all those kids, calling names and singing out. People who are from Nigeria will know what I'm saying. Yeah. They sing your name by saying, white man, how do you eat pepper? If you eat pepper, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And then you see all these bullies and all the rest when you are in the class. So what I would say in short is this, like you women, you need to support people with ability, who's been experiencing this kind of a thing. And if you see a mother who has got this, you need to help them. They need your help. They need your support. By giving us that support, we know we don't feel different. We know we are not we're not in a different world entirely. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Simeon Olawale Aluko. I'm from Nigeria.
We mentioned earlier about disability that is not seen. And a lot of the time you see people who wouldn't know understand the word you don't say. So we need to respect each other. We need to let them hear and be patient with each other because we don't know what story is behind. Okay, I'm going to call very quickly on I'm going to be calling on Yemi, Lady Yemi Akiola, the founder of What's the Hope Foundation. And she's got 2 minutes. I'll be standing right beside you. 2 minutes. Give her a round of applause. 2 minutes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That's it. This has been my 2 minutes. Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me. See, I had this written. It's all about the sustainable goals and what. And the last speaker, I don't know, just touched something. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'll speak to you from my heart. Good afternoon. My name is Lady Akiola. I'm a television presenter, producer, so that's why the voice. So it's good for me. I can carry information very quickly. Thank you to the organizers for inviting me here. A big kudos to you for this workshop. I want to stand on existing protocols if there are any. Now, like I said before, I'm a TV presenter, producer. I also work on radio, and recently I have added the print media to what I do, so I'm releasing a book very soon. My duty here today is to tell you the role of the media in talking about disability in women and girls. Now, I had written a lot of things about how the United Nations Sustainable 2030 goals are supposed to be applied and implemented. But I want to believe that above all of that, we all have a personal responsibility to do our very best to make sure that people that are sidelined in society get heard. Now, I'm the founder of this initiative called Voice of Hope for Women Foundation, and it's using my various platforms of the media to create awareness about what women are going through. Now, this is the first time that I'm talking about disability or physically, mentally challenged. I normally just talk about women. But standing here today, I see that there's a lot of work for us to do because there's, even within us as women, there are segregations that we would never imagine. Now, seeing somebody suffering from albinism, I grew up with a lot of, I saw a lot of them, and I never thought that they were, I didn't know that people could be dyslexic, I didn't know that people could have, I knew they were visually impaired, but they threw them in the class with the rest of the people, and they were meant to just get up with it. And nobody asked anybody if, they were special needs, nobody made special arrangements for them. So now I think, I wrote it in my presentation that, women in the media, more than ever now, we have a responsibility to push these things. But I want to put this on each and every one of us here. Because my area of the media is television, radio, and print. But a lot of you are very good on social media, you're very good on all other forms. Please let us push this agenda. Vision 2030, yes, of the United Nations Sustainable Goals Agenda states that every disabled girl should have education, should have a safe place to learn, should have a safe place to live, based, without any violence, should be able to be respected in all forms. Now, when you see the young man standing here and saying that he was bullied, that means that people are not being respected. I want to know the challenges that women go through in society generally, how they are sidelined. Whether you're a single parent, that is a label. Whether you're a widow, that is another problem. Whether if you're divorced, oh, heaven forbid. There's so much that is placed on women. And there's this conspiracy of silence. There's this taboo
any conspiracy of silence when it comes to women issues, especially with women that are living with disabilities, either mental or physical. Every woman matters. Thank you.
Are we hungry? Yes. Are we hungry? Yes. So the other better chance for you. I don't answer me, but I will stay here for longer. Every woman matters. Okay, I'm going to ask you to kindly please observe time. When I say should, let's try and keep it to it. I'm going to call on Lizzie Kiriko now to speak for us. Thank you. Let's give her a round of applause.
Good day, everyone. My name is Liz Kiriko. As you can see, we've heard from all the distinguished speakers. But one thing I want to say today is that we're here to empower ourselves as women. So when we talk about that, what we need to do is to provide solutions. How do we do this? A lot of times we attend seminars, we talk about what we've done, and end up not saying how we can achieve this. First and foremost, as a solicitor practicing in family, immigration, and other areas, I've come across a lot of challenges women face. But I want to tell you something. We women are like salt. When we are present, doing the right thing, no one knows. But once we are not present, everybody complains. So I want us to rise above the level We are men and women. Gender should not be a demarcating factor. Thank you very much. We were able to have 5 African organizations, including FGM and others, coming together as African peasants, and then we were able to have big lottery funded for the next 5 years to work with African women. That is what I call action. And not only that, because of the discussion, that went into our strategy for domestic violence against women, young women and girls for 2015 to 2020. That is what I call action. So from this sitting this afternoon, one thing you have to know, we women, we do a lot of housework. We wash, we clean, we do this, we go to farms and everything. But nobody quantifies that as work. That is a typical one that we must take forward. For every man that works, it has to be shared. For the man that works, it has to be shared. Those work that the women do the woman must be paid. Look, if you quantify all these principles, can you imagine the deduction or the reduction of poverty that would happen if those women are being paid one way or the other with regards to what is being done? Because we take all these things for granted. And when it comes to disability, I have to tell you, I don't see disability. I see the ability in every individual. That's what I say. Because every one of us has one disabled ability or the other. And I think it is time we have to look at changing that definition. A definition that does not fit something, we've got to act as a voice and do something about it. And one last one, Grace, from this gathering, the fact that we were able to come together in Hackney to secure funding for that, I think we can come together to have an umbrella to organize something back in Africa and see how we can fund it for one day so that we can have our voice. And let's see that take a challenge. Action time and less of talk. Thank you.
You know an academician when he speaks, and now you know a politician when they speak. They want to be straight, direct, to the point, and they carry everybody along. And for me, I think it's the fact that we have one major action plan from this. We have to have that meeting. We have to conclude. Okay, so we have Adenike Fasonya Oshilaja, who is going to Skype, and she's been waiting for about 2 hours actually, and she's going to be speaking to us. Hello Adenike, can you hear us?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Oh, wonderful. It's fantastic to be with you. Thank you for having me.
So you've got 1 minute to just talk to us very quickly about every woman has 5 minutes. 1 minute. Okay, Nairobi, it's making 2 minutes.
Yes. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. All protocols observed. Thank you, Mrs. Alexander, for this fantastic event. Thank
and a serial peace activist. From today, I'm proud of a Nobel Peace Prize. I think to support a great place. What you're doing is absolutely amazing. Can we take tribute to you? Now, after 3 minutes to speak, I prepared so many things to say, but I'm just going to have to squash in 3 minutes. I'm sure a lot of the things that I want to say have been said, but I'm just coming to emphasize and to stress. And one of the most important things I want to stress today is individual responsibility. What are you, as a woman in the diaspora, doing for that woman in the village in Malawi right now? She has no shoes. What are you in the diaspora doing for that woman in Kenya who has nowhere to take her children? What are you doing? Individual responsibility. We don't have to know what you are doing as a person, but are you doing something in your village? Are you holding somebody's hand? Are you going deep into your village and finding somebody who's not your relative and doing something for them? Are you doing that? My mother came from Kenya on Saturday to attend Lake Fair. There is a woman in my village. I don't know this woman. I have never met this woman. She is not my relative. She's not my mother's relative. That is through whispers. But my mother found out about this woman. This woman has been bedridden for 6 years. She's a spinal cord injury. Now, I have got her pictures on my phone, right? Grace has seen the pictures and somebody else from the team. But because I said I want to keep this woman's dignity intact, I don't want it to go into any slideshow. But I can tell you that when my mother told me about this woman who was bedridden, her 11-year-old did not go to school because she was looking after this woman. I decided to get a carer for this woman. The woman didn't even have a mattress. The woman didn't have a proper roof. Now, as I was just preparing to build a house for this woman, we received a phone call on Saturday. After Lake Fair, I took my mother to have dinner. We received a phone call. The woman was being carried to a hospital in Nairobi. And the woman was on the phone saying how she wants to give up. This is not life. She cannot fight anymore. And we encouraged her, just carry on. On the Sunday, I received a phone call. The woman is no more. Now, the woman is no more because what? The UN did not turn up? No. Do you want to tell me the woman is not more anymore because President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya did not turn up? Do you want to tell me the woman is not more because you and I, as individuals, do not take responsibility? Am I right? Yes. I know we're talking about collaboration. Some of these collaborations end up very messy. But I am telling you today, go and find someone to do something good for at least every day. I'm here to preach human love, guys. That's the solution. UN is not a solution. African Union is not a solution. Your government is not a solution. You human life. Use their ability to give to another human being with no affiliation is the solution. Thank you very much.
Hey. Before you have an ocean, you have a lot of water. Sometimes you constantly too much of the ocean. The truth is that you and I have to make an impact. It's about the smart people, somebody out there. It's about the 10 pounds, 20 pounds. It's about the way you reach out to other people in the community. Sometimes our focuses are wrong. And for me, thank you very much for coming along, for bringing that back home to us. Collaboration does work because nobody can do it alone. But however, on the
going to do behind supporting? Some of us are just meant to support. That's right. And there's a need for us to be comfortable in those supporting roles that we all have. We cannot, and for me that brings that back home. In your own little corner, do what you can do. Look for one person that you can support. Okay, on that note, I'm going to call up Miss Jasmine Rowe. It's okay to give a round of applause. Every woman matters. Every woman matters. You all matter.
My name is Lady Rena Peters. I'm the founder of Extraordinary Achievers and the CEO and founder of I'd like to say thank you to the organizers that organized today, and thank you to all the men that are at the house. I'm trying to see how much in my empowering thoughts of our disabled young girls and our up-and-coming ladies, I'd like to share a couple of examples. Claudia Gordon, recently served by Obama, and she was one of the White House officials, and she was a gentleman. She was one of the first students to graduate from the American University. There's a little known fact about Dr. Maya Angelou. Dr. Maya Angelou had selected music. Dr. Maya Angelou was quiet, never spoke for 5 years. But it was in her time of quietness and solitude that she grew in her writing and in her observation. And now you know her as the most popular woman for her poetry and for the empowerment that she has given us for. I can definitely second what the last speakers have just said in terms of empowering others and helping others. I myself am giving back to the community. I have someone that's in the house, Dr. Caseda, and I do a direct debit for this organization every month. I have 2 other organizations in our community which are also doing a direct debit every month to support in terms of what they're doing. And I would urge you all to that is the way forward. I myself, I employ mentally challenged individuals through one of our businesses. And in another organization, I also train people and give back to those that are disabled. Thank you very much.
I'm definitely going to give you an applause. And I'll give you an award. For being the only speaker who has spoken within the time allocated, in fact less than the time allocated. Thank you very much. I'm going to call on Mrs. Jessie Uwagweze. She's the president of FIDA UK and the vice president of FIDA Europe. Can we give her a round of applause? Mrs. Jessie.
Every woman matters. So do I. And every family matters. And women are the bedrock of every family. And by extension, every society. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for gathering today for a very unique occasion. It's a very great pleasure to me to be here. In fact, I'm supposed to be away from this country by this time, but when I met Grace, out of the blue, and she talked about this event, I've never seen any NGO that is actually reaching out to lawyers. Because for the past 10 years, I've been trying to reach out to NGOs, and they always say, oh, these lawyers, they always 116 legislation before they tried to pack about 6 acts into one. And I realized because the disabled people are never on the decision table. Somebody represents them. So when they come back, they rush again, maybe this time it's another disabled issue. But we come together now to gather everything, find all the disabilities that we as African women, and when you say African women, you talk of African women in Caribbean, African women in America, then African women in the continent that are also losing their identity and beginning to say, I'm black, and this, they don't even know again whether they are black or Africa. They are losing, and once you lose your identity, you don't have a root, you don't have a foundation, and that's another form of disability. It's a psychological disability which we have to address. And so we have to reach out to all these different African women all over the world because they are children, our children. We're not handing anything over to them because we are losing our own identity and our own culture and everything because of the colonial impact we've had. We have some disability inside our DNA, development DNA. We are handing it over to our children. All our customs are inferior, everything about that. But with this gathering, it looks as if new generation of younger, we are getting to 70. But the younger ones, and they're beginning to see, no, everything is not, inferior. No. So we have to get together and get a positive culture that will help us remember how powerful our mothers were. Yes. How powerful we as women are, because bringing up a child, having a child 9 months, bringing the child up, is a woman that produced Donald Trump, a woman that produced Shaka Zulu. We are very powerful by nature. We have to get out that power in us, empower ourselves individually, and then by group, and then coming together is the beginning, and then working together. And I hope we are going to make that progress. Thank you very much.
Okay. Where is the princess? She was out of the country. Let's go. Okay. Okay, maybe while we're waiting for that, now call on Juliet Macapila to go quickly, 2 minutes, on how every woman matters. So do I. Every woman matters. So do I. Oh, the energy is deep in the little bit. Okay, hold on. She's here now. Juliet, just 1 minute. She's here now. Okay. We're waiting for you. I was going to call another speaker to speak while we're waiting. Okay. Okay, Ms. Barrett, oh no, we have a lot of money to do from there. Princess Marconi, she is going to speak on violence against girls with disability and how the girl child empowerment model is leveraged in strategy. Can we give her a round of applause?
matter who you are, by the end of today, when you are walking out there, you can be disabled. Anything can happen. With a split of a second, anything can change. So we better be ready. We are not what we are talking about. Sometimes we are talking about ourselves in 2 seconds. Just a slip on the door and we are gone. But I just want to acknowledge you, Professor. That was a very profound presentation. I'm going to read your paper because the way you put your strategy, because this summit is supposed to look at what are the issues, what are we doing about them, and where are the gaps, and then what strategy we can carry forward. And also to quickly acknowledge somebody who has brought us a strategy from Sierra Leone, Anita Koroma. Is she around? I don't think she's around. She's the lady who brought clothing from disadvantaged girls from Sierra Leone last week so that she sells them to our African community and we raise money for girls' education. It's just one practical example. So my presentation is not going to be long. I'm normally long. But I'm going to run through it to say issues that of gender-based violence are very, very natural to me. I was born with gender-based violence in 1971, and I turned 46 2 days ago. I'm still with gender-based violence. So some things are going to be a little bit permanent and dragging on. So we better be more practical in how we approach such matters. So 46 years and lived experience. Can we rush it? So I'm going to just do a picture presentation for you. I'm not going to hide images today. I want you to see first and then what we've been doing about it. So that's me, my brothers, and my story is all written. Yes, let's go. What we are betting, we have got girls who are disadvantaged, and especially in girls empowerment. So they've got what we call a double tragedy. You are disabled. It means most probably you don't have hands, you don't have legs. So I just want you to put yourself in a scenario where you have to change your sanitary pad with no blood flowing out, and then you have to change it yourself. How do you do? Every one of us menstruate, am I right? Yes. So you know how hard, even for me, to change that sanitary pad when it's soiled. What about washing it? It's washing it. So we haven't thought about some girls. What about so there are 99 mental health illnesses. Our children are also with mental health illnesses, especially young girls. So I want to show you some images quickly, post-marriages and all these things that are happening to them, and even rape that happened to me when I was 7 years. Everything causes mental health. I want you to look at the situation of those girls. That's a 12-year-old already with a baby. That's a 12-year-old in South Africa married to that king. That's a girl, Maria, I rescued from a 70-year-old man. So we are talking about depression, we are talking about mental health in those situations. How many do we have in Africa? I remember virtually when I went into the rural areas, I had to take out children who were not born disabled, but their spinal cords were broken through rape. They were forced against walls, they were hit against walls, there were physical injuries, mental injuries that were never cured at all. And in some situations, they are not born, disabled. A man inserts his organ, he tears all of you. He tears the vagina, he tears the womb. I just want to go a little bit graphic, so that with some disabilities, we get to think that they are so hidden under our garments. I put on a dress, I cannot strip naked to say, this is my vagina and how disabled it is now. Those are some of the disabilities that we have to dig without shame. To say, if I can point my disability for a hand which is not seen, what about the vagina where somebody took a knife and was doing female genital mutilation and then mistakenly cut me off? Those disabilities. Okay, let's be quick. So I was just saying, look at that girl, at that And Yemen help. We are looking at Yemen. Look at Yemen. So I'm saying we might have many, many children who are under slavery, sexual slavery, who suffer 99. One of the 99 mental health cases. Depression, emotional. I think in Africa, like in Nigeria, I think you also say depression is not illness. If I start saying to you, I'm depressed, here you will say you are crazy. We know people who are dying, we are not sick. So we haven't come to a level of knowledge. So as a solution, also I'm going to say diaspora has got knowledge of mental health. We must take it back home and say, no, this is schizophrenia. No, let's not go back and say witchcraft again, because we are coming from an enlightened world. We are killing a lot of people due to ignorance. Ignorance is actually very dangerous. Quickly, I just want to go quickly. So we are Girl Child Network worldwide, and who we are, we support from the homes. Most of the things that are troubling people are not coming from the street, they are coming from the home. You are actually jumping too much. It's actually your dad who is raping you. It's your mom who is talking you down. It's your teacher, that's why we work in schools. It's your teacher who is talking you down. It's actually your husband who is saying you are a nobody. It's him who is raping you and making you have children when you are disabled, when you are not feeling well. So most of the things are not foreign. Most of the things are quite local. And you cannot start an international solution when you haven't dealt with very, very small things. Very, very small things of human existence. So what we did, we built this girls empowerment village. It's taken from my ancestors. In Africa, we had women who used to lead quite a lot, so I revived it from 400 years ago. And it became what we call Girls Empowerment Village. You touch a girl in my village, you will see fire. You will see, we don't do all these logical frameworks that you are talking about. We don't do that. You touch a girl, there are rules in Africa where you don't do nonsense. So we have taken those to be our rules of life. So we don't want to do a workshop. Yes, donors are going to fund us very good, but what about our attitude? If a church can work on you and you voluntarily donate money every Sunday, it means also our African culture can work on you so that you become generous, you become good. So I think let's go back to the value system and say, who are we? If we see an albino, if we see a disabled woman, if we see Grace and her son, what values do we have? Do we have values to say, tomorrow I'll come and cook on your behalf? One day, it's a donation. I just want us to expand. I worked with donors. I went up to 6 million. We were the richest organization in Zimbabwe. But to tell you what we know values, money is not the answer. Money needs to be tied to a set of values. What is it that you are putting also you as an African to that money? It can come, but it won't change your attitude, it won't change your practice and your beliefs. Imagine how much FGM money has gone into our continent, but people are still cutting. How much money has gone to disability, but people are still burning them as witches. So it means it's much more than money. When we finally come together as Africans and we say, let's give £1 each, we know it's tied to our values. We define that money. We define that remit. So I am a value person. I come from that, can you roll it back? I come from that mountain. When I wanted to do a project that I could be proud of, even if all donors are to pull out, my village stays. Even I'm here in England, my village is looking after children. That's the biggest investment. So let's go beyond just the things that are short term and look at Africa as having underlining layers and layers of double tragedy hard it is. Coming from centuries and centuries of histories that we must think about and interrogate every day without shame. Why are we ashamed to say my vagina up to now when we can say my hand? What if it gets injured? It remains a mystery. And anything that is mysterious is problematic. Because people begin to put a lot of theories. People begin to put a lot of myths. So let's unpack and say we are humans. To our children, explain we've got these body parts. One of it can be born. Like with myself, some people can say your leg is looking the other way, or your bums are too big. Everything I have on me, people complain about it, but nothing is going to go away. You are going to go away. I'm not going to go away. So just to wrap it up, I want to say there is a strategy. Sierra Leone, they started making their own money. Then we will approach donors to say, we've got a value base for our girls. Look what they did without money. So I also designed a program in Zimbabwe in 1998, which is called What We Can Do Without Money But Passion. And it worked. Mothers came out in huge numbers. Girls came out in huge numbers. Europe was not built by donation. Europe was built by innovation. Look at everything happening in these countries. They're talking about research. They are talking about trade. They are talking about, interrogating their government. And also our government, why are they immune like what Professor is saying? Why is it you are put in place and you don't put a service for your children? Where are they going to go for social services, for medical aid, for police when they are abused? Where are albino, the handicapped going to get? So we also want to do a mass movement that is constantly highlighting and pushing. We push like what they do in Westminster. Every day they are pushing each other. Once you push a parliamentarian, you also push the police. So let's be very strategic. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I come from Zimbabwe. I've got 23 years with a girl child empowerment model that has changed out 350,000 girls in Africa. You are what? Through innovation, I managed to get you somewhere to go. And these are the proud lawyers, these are the proud doctors, these are the proud people who are running various organizations. Some of my girls are running an organization in Uganda from Zimbabwe. So normally we don't know I'm from Nigeria or I'm from Zimbabwe. We know I am from Mother Africa. Why I spoke more than you? Because I am Mushare the princess.
When you hear this man, you don't want her to stop. But meanwhile, you're cautious of the time. At the end, I said, I don't know how I'm going to stop her. But that was excellent. So what I take away from here is the fact that, just like, when you take a look at all what the speakers have been saying, there is a thread sitting through. very whatever adaptive way, adapt what we feel we need to retain in our community. On that note, I'm going to call on Juliet, who's going to speak for 2 minutes, and I'll start the timer. Okay now. That's the end of the
of the CEO of Empowerment, and Bimbo Oak, where is she? Can I see her? Fantastic job to these three ladies. Can you give a round of applause for them? I have been given the task. Who am I? First of all, my name is Juliet Makapila, and I'm the founder of UK Africa Diaspora Forum. I will not quickly explain what I do, but in summary, my platform enhances development across Africa and here in the West. And I particularly pay attention to different areas of what is missing within the parts of this planet. So I'll just summarize it like that, but because I've got the 2 minutes. In summary, it's very short for me to summarize, but I have been given a task to ensure that when you leave here today, every woman matters. So, I thought I had 6 minutes, but a tool for economic growth. Every woman matters, a tool for economic growth. Now, I sit down here and every single time I hear the same stories. I sit down here and every single time I hear, we understand the barriers of economic growth. I sit down here and most of you explain very brilliantly the areas of barriers to development. Now, barriers to development. I will quickly call upon a lady I've met, Yasmin, a solicitor. Please, could you read my question?
How many people like disability?
Can you repeat that?
How many people like disability?
How many people like disability? Now, earlier on I gave some balloons. If you've got a balloon here today, practically stand up, please. Yes, please practically stand up. Can you blow those balloons, please? And I will tell you why I'm doing this. Watch this, ladies. If you've got a balloon here today, practically stand up. Thank you. That's my 10 seconds. Hold it there, right there. Now, the reason I did this exercise, every woman matters. I've got a young girl over there when I gave her my balloon, Olawale. Can you show the rest of the room here? The little girl over here. Can you? When I gave her the balloon, she didn't even wait. What happened? She blew the balloon and she made it. Every night or this evening, fantastic 3 ladies came out together on the 7th and the 8th of April. We had a platform, Sustainable Development Goals. Most of you were there, and she was a perfect example of mental health, where she spoke about actioning and not just actioning. I will stop there, but gracefully, as you leave here tonight, just like the ladies who have had their balloons over here, I want you to remember every single balloon and every color of balloon. And remember, these balloons represents us as a people in this whole world, because without women and without empowering women, we are all left behind. Sustainable development goals, let us shape it. Thank you.
That was very dramatic. Okay, thank you very much. And I'm going to call it before we go to lunch now. Are we all hungry? Yes. Every woman matters. Okay. You know what some people are not going to every woman matters. I'm going to call very quickly with Jasmine Bro to the British Consulate, working to British and Commonwealth Italy in Shashamene in Ethiopia. Please a round of applause for her. For 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. The phone is waiting. Listen, if she doesn't finish speaking in 2 minutes, we let her know that she's the reason the phone will get called. The phone is waiting.
We have a saying, you know, Africa always is creator and creation, which is we always look at it as ourselves, you know. The descendants of the African slaves, the ones who were born abroad without our name and our culture. But for the last 70 years, our community has been growing in Ethiopia, Shashamani. It's known as Shashamani, the land grant, or the Jamaica Sapa, which means the Jamaica village. So, yeah, I'm secretary for the community. I'm also the British Consulate Board, the British Commonwealth Consulate Board. Over the years, it's like, no slave master wanted to do this. So when we have made our way there, our work becomes even harder. You know, trying to survive, we have to build our own schools and these kind of things. I don't want to go so much, but just to give you an understanding of Barbados and England while you're here also. We see ourselves as Africans, but we were taught not to be. You know?
Yeah.
So I was so happy when I hear the little girl read of Angela Davis. Angela Davis is who I learned from. From the age of 12, 13, coming up, I left Jamaica at the age of 10 and grew up in England. So seeing different colored people for the first time was different to me. I'm used to an African race, people of color. So in coming, spending 35 years in Canada and don't belong, I went home. Africa is my home. Then when we reach home, it's like Africa said, no, you are Caribbean. So it's another struggle, and that struggle becomes like a disability. You know, because we cannot get our status, we cannot get jobs. But then we've learned that we're not employees, we're employers. We're African prince and princesses that were sold abroad, and we're employers. So we train ourselves to do our businesses and train younger children also to do their businesses. One of my biggest tasks right now is finding funding to help young women and young girls to set their business straight, you know, rather than doing the business hand to mouth, so that their businesses will grow and they'll be able to employ more people. So I really have to say thank you to Grace for including me in this year. And I've told my people at home about it. I've told about the solutions. But I thought, you know, and I want to thank you all. Those who accept us as African women, as African people, who were sold abroad and returned home. You know, no one knows how, unless you're in that boat, you don't understand. I'm sure many of you have seen African women who are born in the Caribbean who say, I am Jamaican. You know, these kind of things. And this is the same situation with disabilities. There are people that have disabled children and hide them away. Yes. They hide them away. That means that the abuse and the situation that they go through is hidden. A girl, child might be born and see that, oh, she might get pregnant, so sterilize her.
don't see that if they die, the duty is done at the end. I see this woman moving close.
Okay, you watch your lunch now, right? Are you hungry?
Yeah! Thank you all very much. Thank you.
You know what? I have so much questions, and I'm sure a lot of you have questions. Some of the speakers who have spoken when we come back from lunch, please don't go. Okay? After lunch, don't go. We're coming back here. That's when we'll have our question and answer session. So we're going to have a panel here of some of the speakers, and then we can ask questions, and then we can discuss. And above all, like you all said earlier, it's all about what we'd like to develop. We have committees set up here. So we had the ladies who spoke earlier, that's Stella Opoku, who she's no longer here. But part of what she said is that they're looking for organizations that they can form. And I hear Ms. Jasmine Rome talking now about funding that she's looking for. So it's about us developing an action plan. So we're going to go for lunch now. Don't go. Come back. Don't listen to the talk. Listen to the walk. And we'll file out gently, nicely. Remember how it used to be when we were in secondary school? The shorter was to be in front and the tall was to be at the back. Yeah? So let's start from the back row. This one is not about shortness. It's about those who were last. Those who were last coming first. So let's go from the back row. Gently so that we don't all rush out. We're not Russians. We're Africans. Wherever you're from, whether you're Caribbean or African. So from the back, let's start doing nicely. And then the next one. We have 30 minutes for lunch. So the later you get there, eat your food and come back the better. 30 minutes for lunch. Thank you. Every woman matters. Oh, I'm just giving 150%.
Well, it's been a very, very I hope you've been enjoying it. That's the most important thing. Like you've heard from the MC, we're going on a short break. I think the device needs to go on a short break as well. Again, as usual, my name is Olayomi Koike, bringing it live to you all the way from Holiday Inn, High Street, Kensington. Every woman's matter.
Woman matters.
Well, you've had it all. There's going to be an action plan. So it's not just the Nigeria Diaspora Facebook page. The reason why we've done this on this page is because I was unable to upload that onto the YouTube channel. I'm still working on that. But the most important thing is we're available. If you need a service, get in touch with us and we'll make sure we can broadcast your event live as it's happening, wherever it is, all over the world. Get in touch with us, yomi@nigeriadiaspora.net. The most important thing is keep taking the notes, watch the video clip back. Maybe you've missed some of the speakers, but every woman matter, and that's the reason why we're here today. And we're back again just after the break. Again, as usual, my name is Olayomi Koike. Nigeria Diaspora, one central hub, connecting the Nigerians, not just here in UK, but globally as well.